You think you're in control when you go shopping. You walk in with a list, or at least an idea. You know what you need. You are a rational adult making rational choices about your own money. I'm going to tell you something a little uncomfortable. From the second you walk through those doors, you are walking through a machine. A space designed, tested, and refined over decades by some of the cleverest psychologists and behavioral scientists money can hire, all for a single purpose: to make you spend more than you planned, to make you walk out with things you never intended to buy, feeling like it was entirely your own idea. The music you barely notice, the smell in the air, the temperature, the color of the walls, where the milk is, which way you turn when you enter, the size of the cart, the number on the price tag. None of it is random. None of it is there by accident. Every single piece of it is a lever, and that lever is connected to your wallet. And here's the most unsettling part. It works on almost everyone. The smart, the skeptical, the frugal, the people who swear they're immune. Because these tricks don't argue with your conscious mind. They slip right past it and whisper directly to the older, automatic part of your brain that you don't control nearly as much as you think. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how the store is built to beat you, the specific tricks pulling your strings on every visit, and the simple defenses that put you back in charge of your own money. Let's get into it. But before we step inside, you have to understand where this whole machine came from, because for most of history, it didn't exist at all. Go back about 100 years. Back then, you didn't wander a store and pick things off shelves. You walked up to a counter and handed a clerk your list, and he fetched everything for you from behind him. You never touched the products. You never browsed. You couldn't be tempted by what you didn't see, because you saw almost nothing. Shopping was fast, transactional, and, from a seller's point of view, a massive missed opportunity. Then, around 1916, a man opened a new kind of store with a strange and memorable name, Piggly Wiggly. And he did something revolutionary. He tore down the counter. He put the products out where customers could touch them, hold them, and walk among them. He invented what we now call self-service. For the first time, the shopper was set loose to roam the aisles alone. And the moment that happened, everything changed. Because a person who can see everything can want everything. Sellers quickly realized that the layout of the store itself, what you pass, what you see, in what order, was a tool of enormous power. That single idea, letting you wander, was the seed. Everything that followed, the maze, the eye-level shelves, the hidden milk, grew out of that one moment when they let the shopper off the leash and discovered just how much more you'd buy when left to wander. Now, with that in mind, let's walk through the modern machine that grew from that seed. And the manipulation begins before you've bought a single thing. It begins at the front door. Walk into many large stores, and the very first thing you hit isn't the bread or the essentials you actually came for. It's often something completely different. A burst of color, fresh flowers, warm bakery smells, a display of seasonal treats, a welcoming open space. There's a name for this entry zone. Retailers sometimes call it the decompression zone, and its job is psychological. It's there to slow you down, to wash away the rush of the outside world, to shift your brain from fast, focused, get-in, get-out mode into slow, relaxed, browsing mode. Because a relaxed, unhurried shopper is a shopper who spends more. Before you've grabbed a single item, the store has already changed the speed of your brain. And then there's the smell. That's not an accident either. The warm, comforting smell of fresh bread or roasting chicken near the entrance of a grocery store is one of the oldest tricks in the book, and it's often deliberately engineered, sometimes pumped or positioned on purpose. Why? Because smell is wired directly into the most emotional, most primitive parts of your brain, and because hunger is a retailer's best friend. A hungry shopper buys more impulsively, and buys more junk. The store wants your stomach growling the second you walk in, because your growling stomach does not read price tags carefully. Now let's talk about the single most valuable real estate in the entire building, the essentials. The things nearly everyone comes for. In a grocery store, that's items like milk, eggs, and bread. Here's a question worth asking. Where are those staples almost always located? Far, far away. Usually at the very back of the store, and often spread out to opposite corners, so you can't grab them quickly. This is not laziness or bad design. It is the central strategy of the entire floor plan. The store knows you need those staples, so it uses them as bait, placing them as far from the entrance as possible, forcing you to walk through aisle after aisle of things you did not come for, just to reach them. Every step of that journey is an opportunity. Every shelf you pass is a temptation engineered to catch your eye. You came for milk. They make sure you have to march past 1,000 other things to get it, and on the way, your cart fills with things that were never on any list. Speaking of the cart, even that is a weapon. Over the years, shopping carts have quietly grown larger and larger, and studies have found something almost comical about human psychology. When you give a person a bigger cart, they buy more. A cart that's only a little bit full feels empty, almost embarrassing, like you failed at the task. Your brain wants to fill the space. So a bigger cart doesn't just allow you to buy more, it gently pressures you to. The container itself is whispering, "You don't have enough yet." Now let's get to the music, because this one is beautifully subtle. The background music in a store is almost never random, and its tempo is doing quiet work on your body. Slow, gentle music tends to slow your pace, relaxing you, keeping you in the store longer, and the longer you linger, the more you buy. In other settings, where the goal is to move people through quickly, the music speeds up. You don't consciously hear it as a strategy, you just feel a little more relaxed, a little less hurried, a little more willing to wander down one more aisle. Your shopping pace is being conducted, like an orchestra, and you never even notice the baton. And once they've got you walking slowly through the maze, in a relaxed and slightly hungry state, the next battle happens on the shelves themselves. Because where a product sits on a shelf is worth a fortune, and it's decided with surgical care. Look straight ahead, at the shelves right at your eye level. Those are the prime, premium, most fought-over spots in the entire store. And they tend to hold not the cheapest products, not the best value, but the items the store makes the most money from, often the pricier brands that pay handsomely for that position. The genuinely cheaper options? They're frequently pushed to the very top, or down by your feet, where you have to deliberately hunt for them. The simple, lazy, natural move, grabbing what's right in front of your face, is almost always the move that costs you the most. Eye level is buy level, as people in the industry say, and there's an even sneakier version of this, aimed at the smallest shoppers of all. Notice where the brightly colored cereal, the candy, the sugary cartoon-covered products tend to sit. Lower down, at the eye level, of a child sitting in a cart. That is not a coincidence. It's a strategy aimed at the most powerful, most relentless sales force in any family. A kid who will ask and ask and ask until a tired parent gives in. The store isn't just selling to you, it's recruiting your children to sell to you on its behalf. Now let's talk about the prices themselves, because the numbers on those tags are a psychological game all their own. You've seen it 10,000 times, a price ending in 99. Not $10, but $9.99. Why does this trick still work, decade after decade, even though everyone knows it? Because of how your brain reads numbers. We read left to right, and that first digit anchors everything. $9.99 doesn't land in your mind as basically 10. It lands as 9-something. It feels like it belongs to a whole different, cheaper category, even though it's a single cent away. That tiny gap exploits the wiring of your brain, and it has been quietly working on shoppers for as long as there have been price tags. Then there's the dark art of the fake bargain. The word sale in big red letters. The original price crossed out with a lower one beside it. Buy one, get one free. Here's the trick. The human brain is terrible at judging what something is truly worth, so it grabs on to whatever reference point it's given. This is called anchoring. Show me a regular price of 100 crossed out next to a sale price of 60, and suddenly 60 feels like a steal, Even if that item was never really worth 100, even if it sells at 60 most of the time, even if I never wanted it at all. The crossed out number isn't information, it's an anchor, dropped into your mind to make the real price feel like a gift. You didn't decide 60 was a good deal, the 100 decided it for you. And buy one get one free, or 3 for the price of 2? Those work because they make you feel like you'd be foolish to walk away. The fear of missing a deal overrides the simple question you should be asking. Did I even need one of these in the first place? The store gets you to focus on the saving and forget the spending. You walk out having spent more money on more stuff you didn't need, feeling like you somehow won. And here's one of the most elegant pricing tricks of them all, the decoy. Imagine you're offered a small popcorn for $3 and a large for $7. Most people grab the small, $7 feels steep. But now the seller adds a third option, a medium for $6.50. Suddenly the large, at $7, looks like a no-brainer, only 50 cents more than the medium for so much more popcorn. Sales of the large explode. But look closely. Nobody really wanted that medium. It was never meant to be bought. It was a decoy, placed there for one reason, to make the expensive option look brilliant by comparison. This is the decoy effect, and once you know it, you start seeing these obviously get the bigger one setups everywhere, in popcorn, in coffee sizes, in subscription tiers, in almost everything sold in 3 neat options. The middle one is often a trap, set to push you to the top. And there's a newer, more invisible layer to all of this, one the old stores could never have dreamed of: the loyalty card. The little plastic tag or the app that gives you members' discounts and special deals. It feels like a gift, the store rewarding you for shopping there. But ask yourself what they get in return. Every time you scan that card, you're handing the store a complete, detailed record of exactly what you buy, when, how often, and in what combinations. Over time, they come to know your habits better than you know them yourself. When you're likely to run low on something, which deals make you cave, even big life changes hinted at by shifts in your shopping. That data is extraordinarily valuable. It lets them aim offers at you with eerie precision, nudging you toward more spending dressed up as personal savings. The discount is real, but it was never charity. You're not just the customer anymore. Your behavior is the product. And the few dollars in member savings are the price they happily pay for a map of your entire life. Now, let's get to the final trap, the place where they catch you one last time, when your guard is at its absolute lowest. The checkout line. You've finished your shopping, your mind has relaxed, the mission is basically over. And what surrounds you while you wait? Candy, gum, chocolate, magazines, small, cheap, tempting little things. This is the impulse buy gauntlet, and it is placed there with precision. After a whole store's worth of decisions, your willpower is drained. Psychologists even have a term for this exhaustion of self-control. And you're standing still, a little bored, with nothing to do but look at the treats positioned perfectly at hand and eye level. One more chocolate bar. One more pack of gum. It's only $1 or $2, right? Multiply that by millions of tired shoppers every single day, and those harmless little impulse buys at the register become an empire of their own. Step back and see the whole machine. The slowing music, the hunger-triggering smells, the staples hidden at the back, the oversized cart whispering at you to fill it, the premium products at eye level and the candy at child height, the prices ending in 99 and the anchors dressed up as bargains, the final ambush at the register. It is not a collection of random choices. It is a single, unified, brilliantly engineered system, refined over decades with one goal: to quietly, pleasantly separate you from more money than you ever meant to spend. So let's turn all of this into power, because awareness is your armor. Here are the real defenses. Lesson 1. Never ever shop hungry. This is the simplest, most powerful rule there is, and it's backed by hard evidence. A hungry brain is an impulsive, deal-blind, junk-craving brain. Eat before you go, and you instantly disarm half of the store's tricks. You'll walk past the bakery smell unmoved, Glance at the impulse treats with a clear head and stick to what you actually came for. One full stomach defeats a dozen psychological weapons. Lesson 2. Bring a list and treat it like a contract with yourself. The single greatest weapon against an entire store engineered for impulse is a decision you made before you walked in, while your mind was calm and rational and far away from the smells and the music and the anchors. Write the list at home. Stick to it. When something not on the list calls to you, recognize that pull for exactly what it is, a lever being pulled, and let the list, not the store, win. The list is the rational you, sent in to protect the in-store you from the machine. Lesson 3. Look up, look down, and do the math. Train yourself to fight your own laziness on the shelf. The best value is rarely at eye level, so deliberately look to the top and bottom shelves where the cheaper options hide. And when you see a deal, pause and check the actual price per unit, the small number that tells you what you're really paying. Half the time, the big flashy bargain is more expensive per unit than the boring product sitting right next to it. The store is betting you won't look. Looking is how you win. And the deepest lesson of all, the store is not your enemy, exactly, but it is absolutely not your friend, and it never pretended to be. It is a business, running one of the most refined behavioral machines ever built. And in that machine, your unplanned spending is the entire point. The single most powerful thing you can do is simply to know it, because every one of these tricks relies on you being unaware, on autopilot, gliding through the maze without questioning it. The moment you can see the machine, the moment you walk in and think, I know what you're doing, the spell weakens. Awareness is the one thing all of it cannot survive. Think of it this way. Every trick in this entire video is a bet the store is placing on your autopilot. A wager that you'll glide through on instinct and habit, never questioning the smell, the music, the maze, the number ending in 99. The instant you switch off that autopilot and shop with deliberate, conscious attention, you've called their bluff. You don't have to be richer or smarter or more disciplined than anyone else. You just have to be awake while everyone around you is dreaming. So the next time you walk through those automatic doors, take a breath and really look. The flowers, the smell of bread, the milk hidden at the back, the oversized cart in your hands. You're not just shopping, you're stepping into a machine built to beat you. And now, you finally know the rules. If this changed how you see your next trip to the store, you already know what to do. And stick around, because next time, we're exposing a trap even quieter than this one. A way that companies have learned to reach into your bank account and take a little money every single month, often for things you forgot you were even paying for. It's the silent leak draining millions of people right now, and you might be one of them. You won't believe how much it adds up to.